NHL Nightly with your host, the sports, a.k.a. Pierre Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico and Barry.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show, NHL Nightly. I am Jeremiah Maxwell. With me as always is Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico and Barry, sponsored by Fans First Sports Network. You can find us on Apple and Spotify, live on Twitter, Twitch, X, YouTube, and Instagram Live. We're live on the Sports Beard on Instagram Live. Welcome, everybody. Hope you had a great game. Rico, you got to be happy, man. The Leafs tore it up. I didn't even change the jerseys. I was going to put the Dallas Stars, but I ran out of time. That was a good game, man. That was an entertaining game.
Oh, yeah. Run and gun. Rely on your top four. Yeah, perfect game for Toronto.
Sam McKee had – I can't remember what his pick was. I think he had the Dallas to win, but – that they were on a back-to-back. Perlo was all over it. I guess he was on them. Yes, Tim York, Hot Take Hockey has a channel. I'll drop the link in the chat. And hopefully my main man Bacon comes by. I saw Bacon in Hot Take Hockey's channel. So that was pretty cool. So I'll drop the link to his channel in the chat. You can go subscribe and check him out. He does a lot of videos as of right now, but he does live streams and stuff too, so definitely check him out. He is the absolute best. He's such a big supporter of me, and so I will always be a supporter of him. The link is in the chat for Hot Take Hockey. I saw some people earlier. I'm hearing somebody eating with dinner plates. Just mute yourself if you got people in the background. No big deal, and then talk when you're ready. We'll just cue you. You give me the thumbs up if you want to talk or something. Just mute your. Oh, we lost Perlo. Yeah, just mute yourself. You can mute yourself, man. It's easy. Just mute yourself. Yes, A-Space. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in. Daniel always pops in real quick. I really always appreciate him. King Carl, he did an HTH raid when we weren't live, but was very appreciative. King Carl, appreciate you very much. If you leave a like and subscribe, that would be super huge. We're trying to I'd like to get to 500 by the end of the year. So we're at like 269 subscribers. So we would love to get to 500 at the end of the year. So give us, let anybody know that they're interested about hockey. We talk about all the, most latest events and stuff. In fact, Hot Take just sent me something real interesting that ESPN's going to launch its own standalone service. So that's, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I'm to the point where all I do is watch sports. So, yeah. Hey, Steve, no worries, man. If you got stuff going on, just mute yourself. And then when you're ready to talk, you can unmute. It's super easy.
Yeah. I hit the wrong button by mistake. That's what happened.
But that isn't, I don't think that noise is coming from you. That might be Rico.
No, it's coming from me. It's coming from
not me, man.
Okay. All right. No worries. Yeah.
Well, did
anyway,
you notice it appeared when Perlo bounced out for a sec?
It did go away. It did. Yeah. It's hard for me to tell where it's coming from. Remember Perlo's smoke alarm went off. I thought it was my own. So, the sound comes in so clear. John said it was definitely you. Okay. We have to listen to him. He's young enough. His hearing is not gone. And that's the thing with me, boys. My hearing is not good. It's terrible. Like, Rico, you know this. We've only hung out one night, but it was probably enough to be like, that guy doesn't hear that well. I've been told I should have hearing aids by my wife and other things. But, so that's cool. That I appreciate that. And yes, Hot Take, I have the perfect housewarming gift. It's not going to cost a lot, and it's going to be super helpful for your streams. You're going to love it. I'm going to send it off to you tonight after the stream. You're going to love it. It'll be a good gift, and you'll appreciate it. John just got a new place, man. He's, so that's really cool. And I hope he's enjoying it. I know he's working his ass off, so he's doing that. I guess the Bulldogs are kicking ass in the OHL. He was saying I keep wanting to call them the Hamilton Bulldogs, but it's the Brantford Bulldogs, and they're doing really good. So that's cool. I mean, if you got to cover a team, it's nice when they're playing well. All right, let's talk about last night. I thought Edmonton played an unbelievable game. Actually, I just thought. I just thought Aiden Hill played really good, and honestly, he was the difference in the playoffs too. So I don't think Edmonton is that much different of a team than they were last year. They went on this nice heater. We should respect it. I did like what Butch Goring said, though. Like, the Islanders won 15 in a row in 83. Those were all wins. No ties, no overtimes, all regulation wins. That's incredible. Again, you think of all the Hall of Famers on that thing. But look, Edmonton has at least 2 Hall of Famers on their team right now, too. So, and Draisaitl and McDavid, those guys are probably, by all stretch of the imagination, going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, Draisaitl is going to go down as the greatest German player ever. He's like the German Wayne Gretzky, right? So, but I don't know what you guys thought. We'll move on real quick, but I thought it was a really good game. The atmosphere was electric. The Vegas fans showed out as well as they could with the Super Bowl there. Pat McAfee was there with his boy Ty Schmidt, who's a huge Vegas Golden Knights fan. And today, all day, he wore full Vegas Golden Knights uniform with the pads and skates. And he was so drunk, hungover, and his voice was gone. It was hilarious. And I just love that Pat is a huge show here in the States, and he loves hockey. So he's pushing it, and it's really, really good. And I love what's happening. It's good stuff. So, you guys will have to keep me abreast of the score. I'm not watching this game. I couldn't get it to pull up. So, and I just don't want to kill myself because I do not care who wins the Wild Blackhawks game. But it's 0-0. It's on TNT or Max. I guess I could throw it on my phone, but I just don't care enough to. I'd rather have that for other things.
Boys, did you see that guy climbing the sphere in Vegas this afternoon? That feels like Aiden Hill right now. The guy's climbing to the top of the goalie standings in the league. And if he didn't get hurt this year, man, we're talking maybe Team Canada goaltender for this 4 Nations. The guy's just unbelievable. And what he's been through, like being like the 4th goalie last year, like coming into the camp and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're going and winning a cup, signing a deal. The guy's on a huge roll. I mean, the injury set him back a bit, but this guy is unbelievable.
Did you hear JB say today he would be the starter for Team Canada? Why wouldn't you?
For sure.
Name another goalie that's a better Canadian goalie right now.
There isn't.
I mean,
you can make a case that he's been maybe the best goaltender for a while now. His numbers are insane, and like you said, what he did last night was awesome. Like I wanted my Edmonton Oilers to win, but it doesn't even matter if it's your team. A performance like that, it was like we haven't seen stuff like that since Brodeur and stuff. Like he was just going off last night. If he plays like that for the rest of it was crazy for sure.
I mean, I've seen more dominant goalie performances. I felt like some of Edmonton's scoring chances were a little bit, where he could see them. I think they could have done a little bit better job of doing what they're doing. But look, here's the bottom line. If you're the Vegas Golden Knights, you're in Edmonton's head. They were leading in every playoff game this year, and Vegas always came back and won. What was that, a 5-game or a 6-game series? I can't remember. But if I'm Vegas, you're down Theodore, you're down Eichel, you're down Carrier, you're down a handful of really good players, and you win that game, and Edmonton is clicking. I just think that's a huge signature win for them. And remember, Vegas didn't they win their first 11 or something this year or some shit too? Like, they started the season on a tear too. So, they're like, hey, we're still here. We're still the Cup champs. I was really impressed with their play too. Again, nothing taken away from Edmonton and their streak, and I've shit talk them a lot, but they've just played so well defensively, and but I'll tell you what, I walked away from that game going, Edmonton still has the problems that they've had. They still have depth scoring. In the playoffs, those things will get magnified, I think. And then, do you trust their goalies? And we'll see. But I do like how Skinner's been playing. So, okay. I mean, that was the game that stood out yesterday, man. That was such a great game. There wasn't any. There really wasn't anything else. I was really impressed with the Devils coming back and beating Avalanche. They were down, or they were up 3-1, and then the Avs tied it, and then they ended up winning 5-3. That was a really good win. Did you guys want to talk about there was two plays yesterday that I thought weren't, that one, Pospisil, which, by the way, he got a contract extension for it. If you didn't see the news, Pospisil got a contract extension. He kind of cheap shotted Marchand in the face. There wasn't even a penalty called, I don't think. I thought there would be discipline on that. And then Brendan Dillon gets 3 games, which I thought was absolute trash. I thought that was a clean hit along the boards. He doesn't raise. He doesn't lift his elbow. He doesn't drop. I mean, dude, Tim thinks the call on Pospisil was weak. I was surprised he didn't get like a game though. The fact that Brendan Dillon got 3 games after a game of misconduct for basically a clean hit along the boards. I'm sorry, Noel Achari is 5'9" and he was leaning forward, but like it was a bang bang play. It wasn't like Dillon saw him leaning forward and went bum up. It was like they met at the same time as he tried to go into the board or go along the board line there with his head down. I don't know. Like to me, it just felt like bullshit. And I don't think I honestly don't think it deserved the game misconduct in a 5-minute major, let alone a 3-game sussy. I just did not care for that. Again, player safety never does anything that makes sense. What were you guys' thoughts?
No, it looked like Marchand went for a bit of a dive there. I see that in front of the net all the time.
Not Marchand, Achari, the Achari one.
No, I know, but the first one you were talking about was Marchand. But I know Achari, it's a fast play. There was a couple players in between them sort of thing. So I guess Achari didn't quite see Dillon coming in. But, I mean, that's just a guy finishes his check with a shoulder. The only thing is there's some defensemen in the league that are going to finish that play, and there's some defensemen that aren't going to finish that play the way Dillon did. And he happened to do it. And I know the guy's leaning forward after a shot, but it's so tough, man. I can't even imagine how fast that is when you just see somebody and you're taught just to take the guy out, especially at the blue line, because you don't want a team to go over your blue line, or you're going to make them go offside. So that's a bang bang play as a defenseman at the blue line too. You're always taught to take the guy out. So, I mean, it's unfortunate for Achari, but I'm sure he's been on the other end of them in his career as well too. But hopefully he's back. And yeah, I mean, it just reminded me.
Yeah,
of
it sounds like he's going to miss a couple of games, and that
resulted in the playoffs too.
If it's a clean hit and the guy like tonight, Sergachev breaks his leg. He clearly broke his leg on that play. It's a reverse hit by Lafreniere. There was nothing dirty about it at all. The puck's right there. It's just unfortunate the way he fell. He lost his edge and his leg folded up underneath him. Really, really terrible. By the way, Jacob Lucchini is the guy who scored. Thanks, Tim, for keeping us. Was able to get the game to pull up there. Tim let us know, Lucchini, first career goal, I think, for him. Yeah, Salty, good to see you, by the way. These guys need to keep their heads up. Anyway, kind of a real nice win for the Flyers. I thought that was a good win, winning 2-1. We kind of talked about that yesterday. Okay. I feel like we've kind of exhausted the news. There is going to be some trade stuff, but I want to have a little bit of a shorter show tonight. Because we'll go probably a little longer tomorrow night with the 7 games. Let's jump right into it, though. Canucks at Bruins. Canucks again are a road dog. I am all over the Canucks here, guys. Plus 110 Canucks. What are you thinking, Pearlo?
I don't know if I'm all over it because the Bruins played so crappy this last game against Calgary that I'm pretty sure that they're going to have their butt ripped a little bit there because it was a really bad performance. So
yeah, they got destroyed.
They got destroyed and they didn't play good. They had no legs. They had nothing. I mean, I know a coach doesn't like to see that from a veteran group that you weren't ready to come and play. And I'm pretty sure he let them know about it. So I think they're going to come out pretty hard in Vancouver. I think it's going to be a really good game. I kind of like a draw there. But I do agree with you. This Vancouver home road dog stuff, like, I don't get it. How are they a dog?
Dude, what an impressive performance. I watched like 80% of that game. Carolina was up, and they came back. I think it was 2-1 Carolina, and they won the game, and Lindholm just seamlessly slotted in. If you are counting the Canucks out because they don't have playoff experience, I think a good member of those teams were on that bubble team in 2020. I'm not buying it. I think JT Miller's played in the playoffs with the Rangers and the Tampa Bay. Rick Tocchet is too good a coach. I think that is the biggest bullshit misnomer that you need playoff experience. Sidney Crosby won a cup his first run at it, basically second run at it. But like, I don't if they should have lost too, but Babcock's a moron. But I do wonder, like, you know, where are you guys on that? You think that there's any merit to that you have to lose in the playoffs to like, I don't, 2011 Boston Bruins came out of nowhere. The 2019 St. Louis Blues came out of nowhere. I just think that that's the stupidest shit ever. I don't know where you guys are on. What do you feel like there?
No, you just got to get hot at the right time. Injuries play a good part. You don't need a great goaltender sometimes in the playoffs. You just need great goaltending. You've seen it in years past where like guys can just get hot and get rolling at the right time, man. And there's sometimes at the All-Star break where you wish that this was a playoff starting right now after the break for some teams, and there's other teams that are glad the playoffs start when they do. So it's a crapshoot, man. You got to look at it about 3-4 weeks left in the season and just see who's kind of rolling, who's healthy, and which teams are looking good. That it feels like Vegas was playing a little bit of a slow play a bit. Guys are hurt, maybe they're resting Eichel because they know they need him more, come playoff time than they do right now.
He had that surgery, so
yeah.
Anytime you have surgery, you're looking at like at least a month recovery.
Yeah, and look at a guy like Sergachev too. Like that injury would look like a bit of a toe pick. It didn't look like a broken leg. It looked more like a knee or something. But my first thought, Pearlo's first thought, because we talked about it earlier, was, do you think they brought him back a little bit too soon? Because that looked like just a check back where you could kind of get your balance from that a bit. But
watch that from the other angle. His leg folds. If he doesn't have a broken leg, it's either like an extremely high. It's bad, dude. Like you get stretchered off. I'm pretty sure it's tib fib. He broke one of those bones in his leg. I mean, his leg folded. His leg folded like right here. I got shorts on today. It's almost 30 degrees here today, so it's real warm. Real warm. I'm all warm now.
As far as your question, though, I mean, I think there's merit to the fact that the team can learn, and it's more likely that they're going to lose the first time they try. I think it's not like a for sure, of course. I mean, there are teams that have went and did it. Like the Islanders had to lose a lip before they went their 5. Oilers had to lose against the Islanders before they went their 4.
That's true.
Did they have to, or just? But experience always makes you better, right? So, I would say that. Now, as far as Vancouver and how if they can do it, if they keep their shooting percentage up like this, I think they can beat anybody. They are riding an incredible shooting percentage right now.
Yeah, they're way above what like Seattle was last year, right? So
yeah, like they got guys, but the difference is they got guys that they got guys that actually can keep it up. I think, like Besser.
Oh
Guys
yeah,
like-
yeah. I mean so Pasternak has 33 goals. Besser has 30. Hey, Darkness, what's up? Quinn Hughes has 52 assists, bro. I mean, Thatcher Demko has 27 wins. I mean, I'm all. Did somebody score again? Oh no. Okay, six shots to 1. Boy, Chicago, they can't get Bedard back enough. Okay, the second. Did you guys all get your piece on Canucks Bruins? I mean, again, the over/under 6 plus 110. I don't know why you wouldn't take the Canucks. They're not on a back-to-back. It wasn't like they had to travel that far. I just like they got so much momentum.
I'm kind of liking the Bruins a little bit, especially just after that game against Calgary. I think they're going to play a tough game. It'll probably be a low-scoring game. I can't expect it going back and forth too much. So I expect maybe a 3-2 or 4-2 Bruins win or something like that. Maybe, yeah. I can't see the Bruins shitting a bed. They're 7-2-1, I think, in their last 10. So they're not going to lose 2 in a row here. They got a long homestand. This is the second game into this long homestand, so it'll be a tight game. I expect Boston to pull it out, though.
Okay. Caps at Panthers. Caps are a plus 200 road dog. Panthers are coming off a loss. The over-under is 5.5. I probably like the over, and I would take the Panthers, but I would. I mean, I don't know.
This is
Yeah,
so
I did hit
tough.
that OV goal scoring prop though.
Yeah.
By the
One sec,
way,
fellas, I'll be right back.
okay. By the way, I'm gonna drop him so we
Just
can.
because your TV was on.
I'm gonna drop him here. If you Rico may not know if he ends his camera, it doesn't mean it mutes him. It doesn't mute him. Where you at, Pearlo? I'm guessing you're all over the Panthers. This is such a high line. It's maybe not worth it. You're probably looking at plus 1.5 first period or something.
I think it's Florida first period. I thought they were going to play for Kuzi this last game. I really thought they were going to play for Kuzi, and now they come out flat after that, and it's the opposite. Maybe it was more depressing or whatever,
Yeah, I just feel like every time they hit a stride, and they were on a little bit of a 5-game losing streak anyway, that then Kuzi went out, so now we're into 6. This is a good thing for Caps, though. Like, they really just have to start the rebuild. But I do want to say this real quick. Just today, Justin Bourne loves to fucking shit on the Capitals. And they're all bitching about, how Ovechkin is playing. Ovi is playing unbelievably good this year. He is not sitting in the same spot on the power play. Yeah, he leads the NHL in power because the Caps have nobody else worth a shit. They just got Pacioretty. They're starting to play him, and he's good. So he's getting time, but he's been on the top power play. So I did watch the Beanpot, Salty. You missed it. We talked all about it. We'll definitely watch on Monday, and we'll definitely talk about it. But anyway, you're not watching the games. You should shut your fucking hole. They're moving him around all over. He's not staying in the one spot. He's been at the point. He's been in front of the net. If it's like me saying, "Oh, Edmonton's not good," because I haven't watched them in the last 2 weeks or fucking month. Because how bad they started. No, they're really good. They're the plus money favorite for the Stanley Cup right now, plus 700. So it makes sense. We'll get Rico back in here, but we're just going to keep moving on because I do have to have a shorter show tonight. I apologize to everybody. But we will shout out one of our loyal listeners here at the end of the show. He's got some exciting news. Flames at Devils. This is a must win for the Devils, man. And boy, the Flames are playing with house money. And I'll tell you what, Pearlo, there was some analytics there that maybe Kuzmenko is the winger that Huberdeau needs to play with or something. I don't know. They looked good.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. Oh shoot, am I on mute? No. I don't know what happened there in Calgary or in Vancouver with Kuzmenko. But remember last year, the guy looked like he was just unbelievable.
He had 39 goals.
And all of a sudden, it was something about he wasn't playing aggressive enough in the offensive zone or something. I don't know what it was, but I have a feeling that he's going to take off there in Calgary.
I agree.
Well, look who they're going to play him with. They're going to play him with Kadri and Huberdeau, man. Just throw those guys together in a blender and just see what comes out of it. Maybe you'll get Huberdeau going. Maybe they'll start snapping it around, setting each other up. So this
what did Kadri say? A pack of hyenas will take down a lion any day.
That was hilarious.
That was awesome. Between Patrick Waugh going, talking about Boar Horvat, you're either a duck or an eagle, and today he was an eagle. And I people said, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you, I have eagles that fly out on my lake all the time, and I watch them swoop down and kill ducks all the time. So that's the difference.
Ducks, and the duck doesn't have a chance.
I have to tell you, I
got a weird thing that Calgary might win that game tomorrow. I just got a weird feeling about it.
Well, they're plus 120. That's not terrible money to take, and they're coming off a really good win. And where's the weakness of the New Jersey Devils, and what's the strength of the Calgary Flames? The weakness of the Devils is goaltending, right? And the strength of the Flames is goaltending. I'll tell you what, though, I think they'd be insane not to trade Markstrom if they're out of it. He's 34. There's so many teams that need goaltending. He's still a really good goalie. They have the Wolf kid. They could keep Vladar. If they're out of it, Conroy, make some moves, buddy. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So you guys are on the Flames then, or Tim likes Calgary first period.
Yeah, I like Calgary first. That's a good one because Jersey sucks in the first period. Yeah, that's a really good one.
Puck line there. Okay. I
don't mind Calgary in that spot. Didn't Toffoli leave the game or something? They're banged up a little bit in New Jersey.
Dude, that's been the Devils all year. They're not getting the goaltending and they have injuries. How about Blake Coleman leading them in goals too? I love that. I
heard Hughes might be back though tomorrow.
Yeah, he was in a non-contact though. So let me look and see what the BR does a really good job right now. Calgary's missing AJ Greer. That's it. They're missing Toffoli day-to-day. Brennan Smith, he's out with the knee. Dougie Hamilton's out with the pectoral muscle. Jack Hughes is out with the upper body still, and then they're missing Siegenthaler. I mean, that's also been the story with the Devils. So, the Devils got to keep winning, though. They're right there in the mix, but they just can't. They can't. They've got to figure it out. And, we're also not counting they lost McLeod and Foote due to this. They're not coming back, so.
Two sneaky good Alberta signings, right? Zach Hyman and Blake Coleman. Like those guys are king of Alberta.
Zach Hyman's going to score 50 this year. It looks like.
I don't know.
I love Coleman.
Boy, don't you wish Toronto kept him, huh?
Oh God.
Okay. Jets at Flyers. Flyers are a home dog. Man, I was really disappointed with the Jets against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh sucks ass. I was really, really surprised that they didn't come out and play a little bit better game. And they had Hellebuck in that too, so it was not a good game. I think that major with Dylan, though, changed the course of the game. It was 1-0 when that happened. So that could have been.
Like Pearlo brought it up, man. Winnipeg is not getting too much scoring right now. They're winning by Hellebuck and playing defensively. They're not winning games convincingly right now.
Yeah, they just got Scheifele back. Connor's not been back that long in the lineup. Now Monahan's there. Let's hope they can get going on the power play. I actually would take the Flyers at plus 124 here, but God, I don't trust their goaltending now that they don't have Carter Hart. So probably the Jets. What do you think, Pearlo?
I don't like. I think I would look at a draw here.
Draw?
Yeah, definitely.
Are we talking draw season?
Yeah, draw season.
I got my. This is also the bargain bin. I'm repping the Ice Guys gear tonight.
I have a really hard time going against Philadelphia now that they've had rest. I think they're going to play just like they were the early part of the season now for like 10 to 15 games. Winnipeg's not scoring enough right now, and if that showed up in analytics, they were another high percentage shooting team, and it sounds like it's coming back now. So I'm a little sketchy about taking Winnipeg there. Even though they don't want to win 2 in a row, lose 2 in a row at home, I would rather them play other teams than Philly, though, because Philly doesn't give a shit about that. Philly's going to work just as hard as anybody out there.
Yeah.
If they have the legs to do it, they're gonna work as hard as you or outwork you. So
and they did against Florida the other day. So
and I had Philly in that game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't a high event game either. Both teams didn't light up the shooting board either in that game. But one thing me and Pearlo were talking about earlier too is like Tortorella's changed. He's obviously figured out how to just reinvent himself a little bit in Philadelphia. He's probably let the boys go on a break, go have fun, do what you got to do, go to Cabo, but give yourself a day or so of rest before you come back to this team. So if you're not going to be ready to go, you're not going to see the ice. And the Carter Hart thing is probably blown over a little bit, where the guys are starting to come together a little bit. But like you said, Beard, it's about Ersson. The goaltending is going to be something to really focus on moving forward for Philadelphia here.
Brossoit should be a net, though.
Yeah. Tim's got Jets money line. But you'll have to tell me. BTTS, what is that for, guys? Sorry.
Both teams to score.
Both teams
to score first. Okay.
First.
Thank you, guys. And Tim, thank you. And he thinks Brossoit will play. I will say, I think Laurent Brossoit is better than anybody they have right now in Philly at Jets. So, okay, here's a big one. And this is I don't know, man. Colorado's maybe getting lucky because the Central teams aren't winning right now, but they look like a one-line hockey team. They're actually a road dog at Carolina. I like Carolina in that game too, but gosh dang, man, it's so hard to go against the talent of Rantanen and McKinnon and McCarr. And to get Colorado at plus money, it's almost like free money. What do you think, Pearlo?
3 games in 4 nights now, coming off a long break, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. But on the road, I find that Colorado, the teams find it pretty easy to match up against them, just like you said.
They haven't been good on the road. They got smoked by Pittsburgh early in the year too, I remember.
It's a one-line team. Like they need to get some depth there. They're not getting a lot. McKinnon's not getting a lot of help. So Carolina's got a pretty deep team. That's one thing they do have. They don't have the superstars. So you got like this superstar team playing against a really deep team. And Carolina coming off of a loss, right? So I like Carolina. I'll go Carolina there.
Okay. Salty has a question for you guys because it's not applicable to me. He says, "What platform do you guys bet on?"
I usually use ScoreBet. It's part of the Score television network, so I use ScoreBet because that's what I use for my app most of the time when I check scores and stuff. So I try to just keep it to one. I know some people like more than one sports book, but I just keep it to one and just lay with that. ScoreBet, it's a good app. They give you free bets once in a while.
Salty, but I will. I just have to figure out what I can use up here in Alaska because it's not legal. So I have to find kind of workarounds. And then Pearlo, what do you use?
I'm one of the multiple sport book guys, but I guess probably my favorite is Betway. And I don't know if you can get it, but that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, that's here. That's here in the States too, I believe, Betway. So I'm familiar with that.
That's probably my personal favorite, but I mean, there's lots of books that I use. Yeah, I use lots of books.
Yeah, and Tim York says he uses Bet365, Bet Victor, Bet Play Alberta, and Sports Interaction.
Play Alberta.
I thought Sports Interaction and Bet365 were the same thing, but they're not.
Play Alberta is awesome, but the problem is you only get it in Alberta, so I can't really put that out there for people.
Well, no, but like there are Salty's in Michigan, so he obviously can't bet that. But we're gonna get sorry, I didn't mean for that. We're gonna get sorry about that. 1-0. Thank you, Tim. I do have the score up and I have the game up. Good win by the Leafs tonight too. I'm impressed. I know Pearlo. Okay, Rico, did you pick? I know Pearlo said I said I take the Avs plus money just because I feel like, But the Hurricanes,
Yeah.
who are you on in that game? And
Yeah, I'm on Carolina too. Just matchups. If it was in Colorado, I'd probably go with the Avalanche. But in Carolina, they'll be able to match up against that top line, like we were talking about. Maybe stick Slavin on the McKinnon line. Just basically Brindamore saying, if we're gonna lose tonight, don't let this guy and this guy beat us. And beyond that, let's just play a complete game. We got to win this one coming off that loss. So
and Kochetkov was in net the other night for them, so he's back. And then I'm hearing Anderson's coming back. That's going to be really good for them. They're going to have 3 legit goalies, and Ranta's probably going to be the third guy there because he's not that good. And
I know I still got my Anderson future Vezina winner prop sitting in the bottom of my open bets on my site right now.
Could happen. You never know. Okay, let's go on to Lightning Islanders. So that's a back-to-back for Tampa. They did not look real good. I thought Kucherov would score tonight. Did he have a goal?
I don't think so.
He had an assist, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he had a goal.
Oh, Hagel was the one that scored. Okay. I thought he would come out of that.
Oh, he had an assist. Yeah, Hagel scored. Yeah.
I think Kucherov point would have been good. Okay. Yeah, so I like the Islanders here, and the Lightning are a plus 100 road dog. Now, that being said, they played New York. It's not like it's any kind of trip. It's a less than an hour train ride to get to the island. They're probably staying out on the island. Anyway, yeah. Tim York likes New York Islanders money line and the under.
I love the Islanders.
Yeah. You like the Islanders in this one, Rico?
Yeah, man. You got to get the boys checking in on Sergachev tonight. They're probably going to be up late wondering what's going on with their guy. You got Johansson in net probably for Tampa, obviously, after Vasilevsky tonight. And Patrick Roy's got these guys going. They're going to play hard, and Tampa's just going to I think they're just going to be besides themselves on what's going on. The guy hasn't played since December 19th. He comes back and injures himself and stretchers off the ice. Like, this is a huge development in Tampa right now. Whether Brisebois is going to be on the phone looking for somebody that he doesn't know who he's going to be able to give up for somebody to fill in on that back end because he plays so much, and it's been so long since he's been in the lineup. I feel so bad because Sergachev seems like one of the nicer guys in the league. So
that's brutal for them. That's a huge loss. They need him. Pearlo, what do you think on this game? And then I did want to comment something about the Rangers after you're done.
Yeah, I get a gut feeling that Wa's going to get the Islanders playing a pretty solid style of hockey. And I don't really think they're necessarily going to make the playoffs, but structure is going to come now. And against a Tampa Bay team that I don't know, you're going to want to play for Sergei, I guess, but it's an old team. It's got a lot of emotion. I think they're going to be feeling pretty tired tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with Rico. That's a really good point. Like, it's emotionally draining when you see a guy that just came back from injury and such a great guy, and like everybody loves him. And I think it's going to be a little rough for them tomorrow. I got to take the Islanders too.
Yeah. What a trade that was too, getting him from.
For Drouin.
For Drouin, which, by the way, he's having a decent year. So
yeah, he is. Yeah.
That's good. That's good news. I know he was a big time prospect. It was like a 4th overall pick, wasn't he, or something? So
maybe the back half of this career, maybe Sergachev might be injury plagued, and Drouin finds himself in Colorado and signs a multi-year deal for a couple million per, and this trade might even itself out. You never know.
You could never know. You never know. Yeah, I heard Pierre Maguire was saying, and that he wouldn't be surprised if he got offer sheeted, because I'm sure there are a lot of teams that need D and would have the space. We'll see. I know Tampa's up against it. It might be why Brisebois has been so reluctant to get the deal done for Stamkos. We'll see. Last game of the night, Golden Knights at Coyotes. Before I get into this game, Jonathan Quick, 3rd start in a row. for the Rangers.
I was telling Pearlo about that earlier. I'm like, do you think he's taken over the number one reins? And Pearlo's like, oh, maybe Shesterkin needs
Johnny
to break
Lazarus
his
talked
arm,
about this
but
a little bit too. Like they're going to give a little bit more of the net to Quick. He's just played really well, and Shesterkin's not played well. I mean, he's like an 890 save percentage this year, and
he's played a lot of hockey too. Shesterkin's played a lot of hockey the last few years, so.
Yeah. Well, what I've understood from him is he likes to be in net. You know, there are those guys that like that was Lundqvist. Isn't it hilarious? Like Lundqvist played 72 games every fucking year. It was like just crazy.
Well, I probably learned from him, right? That you want to be in the game. He probably learned how to prepare like Lundqvist. He's sitting basically on the bench watching him prepare for every single game and play every night for the Rangers pretty much. So he's learned from one of the best goalies of all time.
Yeah, Tim saying Laviolette will ride the hot goalie, and I agree. And honestly, we're going to have the mix. Pretty cool. Bedard, you know, by the way, again, Bedard does not look unhealthy to me. I'm seeing him. Why is he not playing? They have those masks you can wear with if you've had a jaw thing. He looks fine. He's not even black and blue anymore. He looks like
didn't Joe Nieuwendyk play with a broken jaw in the 89?
Dude, Jeremy Roenick missed a shift with a broken jaw. Like, and I get Bedard is a rookie. Like, we don't need him to do that.
Yeah.
But
Chicago's not going anywhere this year, so just protect the kid. But
yeah. Anyway,
I was saying about Quick was that I was reading about it actually, and what they've been doing is like he's got a quirkiness in his game that he hasn't had before, and they're just trying to get it out through practice, and they're going over tape. And
you're talking about Shesterkin,
yeah. About Quick, I mean, because Quick is getting all these starts, it's because they really want Shesterkin to practice this out of his game. They don't know how it got there, so they'd rather do it that way than start losing or not playing well in the games, and it hurts your confidence, and you can't really focus on fixing this whatever quirkiness they're talking about. I'm not a goaltending expert, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the right. Benoit Hilaire is like one of the legendary goaltending coaches that's there in New York, so they've got the right guys there.
And watch out. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Beer.
No, you're fine.
I was just going to say, watch out. There's a double-edged sword there too, right? Because I think Quick is already kind of talking. His agent is kind of talking about an extension type thing as well. So, I mean, you're playing him, but then, you know, he's obviously going to demand a little bit of money. And, you know, if there's a team that's going to sign him right now and trade for him, I don't know if the Rangers are playing to trade him because I don't know. Who's the Rangers' third goalie right now behind Quick?
I don't know.
I do. It's I believe it's Tokarski or
Justin Tokarski.
Is it Domingue? Domingue?
It could be Domingue.
Domingue or Tokarski, one of those two, I think.
It could be Domingue. Domingue's played everywhere. Domingue's played for 20 teams, I think.
Oh my God. Wasn't it Domingue that came in for Pittsburgh in the playoffs a couple of years ago as a third goalie behind Jari and Smith? And Domingue came in. And it's like, oh my God, Pittsburgh were just hoping they didn't get a shot on goal because the guy's letting in everything. I think it was against the Rangers in the first round where they had to go to Domingue. And they're like, oh man.
Yeah, that was that sucked for Pittsburgh. My heart really broke for them. They had no playoff success.
It is Domingue. I just looked it up on Cat Family.
Domingue. Okay, thanks.
All right, okay.
Rich H in the chat. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in, Rich H. Jared Bukal. Yeah, Jared, I've been hearing Hot Take Hockey was trying to will Tanev and Hanifin to the Leafs tonight on his stream. So I get it. The Leafs, it's never not. I mean, if you're the Leafs, do you just not? I mean, like maybe you trade Bertuzzi for. He's not doing anything. Maybe you just. I don't know, but like I also feel like has Keefe really given those guys a chance? Okay, let's do the last game, and I wanted to say this one thing because this was huge news today. It's Golden Knights at Coyotes. Coyotes are a home dog 120, but here's the deal. I am now convinced we're going to lose the Arizona Coyotes. I think they're going to be the Utah Yetis or whatever the hell, because they can't get this. arena deal done, and whether it's on the owner there or whatever, he's just drug his ass too long. To me, I would go to Matt Ishbia, the owner of the Suns, and be like, build a new arena, because I've already said like America West or whatever's downtown where the Yotes first played, where the basketball team plays, and they could play there again. They could just retrofit that arena, redo it. There's talk they're rebuilding one anyway. A dual use arena for a place like Phoenix is good. They have a train that goes downtown, that sort of thing. So, or Scottsdale, move the arena out there, whatever you want to do. So the guy that owns the Utah Jazz has already said his arena is equipped to house hockey, and he will build a separate arena without public funds for the hockey in that Salt Lake area. So I just see that's happening. And I think if they expand, Arizona and Atlanta will be the franchises they expand to. And they won't expand into Arizona without a stadium already done, I think. So I think you could see Atlanta come into the league. And for all the people saying, why is Atlanta? Well, Anson Carter is pushing for Atlanta because he has a minor league team there he owns. And now with Turner being there, they think it'll be a big deal. And they're going to put it out in like, so a lot of people don't realize that they've had a pretty good I'm trying to think of the name of the Alaska Aces played them in the finals. That they actually have had some pretty good East Coast hockey in Georgia for a long time. And I can't think of the name of the team that's outside of Georgia, but they're actually pretty good.
The Bible Belt Bandits.
The what?
Just kidding.
No, I'll tell you. All right. Well, while I'm looking this up, you guys tell me what you think on the Coyotes, Golden Knights, and then we're gonna wrap up. It's gonna be a short one tonight, guys. By short, we're still almost an hour. So
yeah, the Yotes and Golden Knights will be a good game because of the goaltending matchup. I think that's the first thing you got to look at there. It'll be Aiden Hillary back in net against Connor Ingram. I think Arizona, this will be their first game off the break, won't it? So it'll be interesting to see what they do, but I think, yeah, what do you think, Pearlo? Maybe a little Zona, Tone Dogs after Vegas with a big win over the Oilers, maybe a draw, maybe a low-scoring Coyotes win. Oh, you're muted, Pearlo.
Yeah. You want to say that because they just came off that big game, right? Like it's this could, and Arizona always plays them tough. The problem is, I think I'm just going to stay away from this game because the problem is this is for the Arizona's first game. I think I might take like Vegas first period puck line or something like that because they got their legs, so, and then leave it at that. And then I don't know after that. Maybe I don't know. It's a tough game. Tim likes Arizona. Yeah, I can see that. I can see both sides of that. Yeah. I would probably take Arizona just because it's plus money. It's a tough game to cap.
So there are two teams in Georgia, the Savannah Ghost Pirates and the Atlanta Gladiators. I can't remember the last the name of that team that they played, but they must have folded into one of those teams or whatever. But look, I mean, Adirondack Thunder, Greenville Swamp Rabbits, Jacksonville Icemen, that's in Florida, South Carolina Stingrays, that's not far from Georgia, the Norfolk Admirals, that's in Virginia, the Orlando Solar Bears, that's obviously the Florida Everblades, the Newfoundland Growlers. Now that's Terry Ryan's team, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're in the Worcester Railers and the Troy Rivet Lions. Trois-Rivières. Thank you.
What about the
Maine
Birmingham
Mariners.
Barracudas? Are they still around?
So the Maine Mariners are the Alaska Aces franchise. They moved to Maine. And then the Reading Royals, Savannah Ghost, and both those teams are at the bottom of the thing there. But Adirondack Thunder are 30-8 in the ECHL this year. So, well, anyway, tomorrow we'll talk trades. We'll definitely have a whole thing. We'll probably take callers. I think if you are waiting till the trade deadline, which is 2 weeks away, it's going to be tough for your team. And I just think there's not a lot available out there, so you better go out and get it. Capes is over here harumphing like he's. Are you done? Are you done, buddy?
Send if we're signing off, send Tim York the link for After Hour. He'll pop on and shoot the shit with me and Pearlo for a bit.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah.
But
yeah,
listen,
sure.
hey, one thing that's been in the news today too. Did you hear John Tavares' signing bonus is getting taxed like close to 60%? And he's suing
Okay,
his
so
CRA?
I read about this. This is very interesting. I'm glad you brought this up, and we'll talk about it. And then, Tim, I'll shoot you I'll drop you the link, and I can just put the link in the chat, and anybody that wants to come on can come on, and I'll just bring them on after we end the show. So essentially, if there's a thing that the U.S. and Canada agreed on, like it's called an enticement tax, and if you get enticed to move to Canada from the U.S., you're only supposed to be taxed 15% on that bonus. So he was only supposed to pay 15% tax on that. So I don't know if the Canadian government's tried to change the rules on him or anything. I don't know, man. Anyway, Tim, I dropped the link. You can just click in it, and I'll bring you in after we end the show. No worries. So that's just interesting to me, and I think
that's
Tavares
a lot of money. People are like, the guy's making millions and stuff too. But at the end of the day, if somebody's taxing your paycheck, no matter what you take home every 2 weeks, almost 60%, you're going to be pissed off. So who cares if it was 15 million or 1,500? Like that's
a lot of money, man. Like an $8 million difference is a ridiculous sum of money. But anyway, part of me is like, well, if you didn't go to pay those taxes. I also am a firm believer if he stayed with the Islanders, they may have won a cup with Trotz and them. That like they were one goal away twice in Game 7s against Tampa. You don't think Tavares would have made a difference in those lineups? I don't know. He might have screwed himself out of winning a cup by signing. And I get it. Like he signed with his childhood team. So I see Tim in that thing. I really appreciate everybody coming out. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night.